Hey guys, it's Anna. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be covering my unfiltered opinions on newer, more popular fragrances. And if you're new to this series, these are fragrances I won't be adding into my collection, either for the simple reason of I don't like them, or it can be a great fragrance, but I don't need it in my collection simply because of like redundancy, for example. These are obviously my own experiences, my own taste coming into play. Please keep that in mind. I just think it's valuable to hear different perspectives, whether you have a similar taste to me and then the review is helpful in that way, or maybe you have a totally different taste and then you're like, that sounds like my cup of tea. So the first one I wanted to talk about is a new one from Xerjoff, Quattro Pizzi. I was interested in this one because people were recommending this as a summer fragrance, and I've been seeing people comparing it to Armani Privé Rouge Malachite, which is my all-time favorite tuberose fragrance. And I'm very picky with that note. So I'm like, if it can do tuberose in that way, but then have its own spin on it, that could be a hit. I am not a fan whatsoever of this scent, and personally, I don't even find it remotely similar to Rouge Malachite. Here's the thing, I am like a bloodhound with the note of hay. I don't enjoy it, and if it is in a note breakdown, it's usually quite prominent to me, and I just get this overwhelming dry hay note, which is what I get in this one. It's got this base of hay, tobacco, tonka bean, and then there's this dry tuberose with coconut and spices. To me, it smells very dusty and like a barrel of hay with tuberose. I'm not sure how to pronounce this next one. I've been seeing it pronounced a couple different ways. Ulyka, Parfums, Nota sugar. I've been seeing this one popping up on TikTok, people saying this is the it summer gourmand, and I've been seeing people calling this escapade gourmand with tropical fruits added, namely pineapple. I understand the comparison. It always helps to compare a scent to something else so people can get a better picture of what something might smell like. However, for me, it's not just take escapade gourmand and add tropical fruits. This has quite a synthetic nature to it, which rubs me the wrong way. It's very apparent. It's not the airy caramelized vanilla with tropical fruits that I was imagining. Like, yes, it has an airy quality to it, but it's just very artificial, very sweet, and the pineapple, coconut, and raspberry have this like chemical undertone to my nose. So this was definitely a miss for me. Then we have the House of Oud Guilty Crush. This was such a letdown for me because this had the potential to be like a dream perfume of mine. Unfortunately, I really dislike how the fruity notes are done. They smell syrupy, synthetic, tangy, and just bothersome to me. They smell like they've been sweetened with stevia, like, you know. Otherwise, it's got like a vanilla lipstick accord, rose, champagne, and I'm also not loving how that rose note was done either. It's not too loud, but it's a tad powdery, mature. Another one that I was convinced would be a dream. Are you kidding me? Sequoia Vanilla Marshmallow Orchid K from K. But instead, Ambrofix turned out to be the most dominant note, providing a molecular synthetic sharpness. It's definitely a bit strange. There are some subtle pine qualities, musky, kind of an ambergris vibe to that note. I would love this if it weren't for that particular note, because otherwise I love this woody, floral, sweetened perfume. Like I said, there's sequoia, vanilla, marshmallow, there's magnolia, petitgrain, and I love those qualities in the mix, but that Ambrofix really like takes over everything. Now, I may just be the only person that feels this way because I haven't seen a single negative review on this fragrance, only love for Creme Brulee from Theodoros Kalotinis. I thought it was okay. Again, I'm running into the issue of it smelling too synthetic. There's a buttery quality to it that's not for me, kind of like a biscuity undertone, and the coconut, instead of coming across like a coconut milk to me, it has a very waxy presence to my nose. But I will say that the deep dry down, like there was a massive improvement in the deep dry down. Then I got a similar vibe to Escapade Gourmand, but the opening and mid just didn't jive with me. And then the other one from the brand, Pear Gelato, oh my word, I'm like sabotaging myself. I get so hyped and create these smells in my head when I see these perfumes coming out, and I'm left disappointed. Again, I thought it was okay. Doesn't smell like ice cream or gelato, unfortunately. I can smell all the notes, but they don't come together to create an ice cream or gelato experience for me. It's like I smell them completely separately. The pear note in particular, 80% of that gives me kind of like juicy pear, 20% a candied pear. I smell the milk, definitely giving it that lactonic presence, but it doesn't smell like ice cream. It just smells like there's cream. I also smell the waffle cone. I smell the carbs. Has a little bit of like a cereal-like vibe to it, if you will. Yeah, it just didn't come together in the way that I had hoped. And also with this one, it smells much more unified in the deep dry down, but just overall wasn't a love for me. Okay, something that I thought was great is the new Rosendo Mateu No. 8. This is definitely one of the best pineapple fragrances I've tried. It's super juicy. It's got loads of realistic pineapple and apple at the forefront. And then it's got warm amber, a nice cinnamon, vanilla, and wood that comes out as it dries down. The only reason I'm not putting it on my wish list is that pineapple is such a specific, distinct smell. I don't need like a bunch of pineapple perfumes. And because it's such a distinct smell, those are perfumes that I reach for when I'm in a specific mood. It's not like a vanilla perfume for me where, you know, I could have 100. But I think it's definitely a standout from the brand and a really good release. I know a lot of people have been loving Tilia from Marc-Antoine Barrois. For me, it's okay, but I understand why others love it. It's similar to Phlur Narcotique, but it's just like different focus florals and there's no lychee. It's musky, you have linden blossom, jasmine, and a bit of a woody base. It has a green aspect to it that I don't love. And just this type of floral profile isn't my personal cup of tea, but if you enjoy fragrances like Valaya, Phlur Narcotique, then you'd probably like this as well. Okay, this is gonna be very hit or miss for people, but Born to Stand Out Angel's powder, I wasn't even gonna sample it because of the nail polish note, but I saw so many people saying like, try this, it doesn't smell like nail polish, it's so good. So I went ahead, gave it a try. In the family of Soradora Malo, but it doesn't have orange blossom. It's got sugar, vanilla, cotton candy, raspberry. It's powdery, it's got this fluffy musk, and it's definitely something to sample first because it depends on your nose and your skin how you pick up that nail polish note. I don't smell nail polish except for a bit in the opening. I'd more so say I get this kind of plasticky background vibe, like plastic doll head. It's a synthetic sweet perfume, definitely nostalgic, like playing with Barbie dolls or something. It smells pink. Those are the vibes. It's interesting to me that this one doesn't bother me because usually you know, with a note like that or a bit of a plasticky vibe or synthetically sweet, that's not my thing. A bit too sweet for me, but I enjoyed the experience. But yes, like I said, like absolutely, this is something to sample first because I think a note like that could go real south for some people. Then we have Fragrance du Bois Sirène, beautiful cherry perfume. I just don't need another cherry. It needs to be really unique to bring in another one, or something else has got to be decluttered. The opening is quite special. The opening is stunning. I love the lactones actually. It brings in this creamy, addictive quality to the cherry. Just this subtle, unique twist. It doesn't smell milky or anything to me, but just this creamy sweetness. As it dries down, I lose the lactone note. It gets deeper and it becomes less unique from cherries on the market. Still very good, but just redundant in my collection. It's woody, spiced, ambery. You get some incense. I definitely think this is a good one. Then we have Phlur Vanilla Skin. I love how this smells. I just don't want to wear it, if that makes sense. Like, there are plenty of perfumes that I've smelled. I'm like, I love the smell of this, but I don't want to smell this consistently on me all day. So the actual scent is gorgeous, thoroughly enjoyed, but when I went to give it a full day wear test, it felt cloying for me. This is perfect for fall. It's a cozy, warm, syrupy, sticky vanilla with oud, sandalwood, cashmere wood, pink pepper, and benzoin. It's a smidge smoky. It's got a toasty vibe to it for sure. The oud isn't overwhelming at all. It's very beginner friendly, nothing animalic. And this is a very personal thing for me, as are all of these opinions. But often when deep woody notes, or it doesn't even need to be woody notes, it could be like a deep leather, is combined with specifically a sugared vanilla, syrupy vanilla, that combo gets cloying for me. So I do think it's a great scent. I just personally can't wear that specific combo for a prolonged period of time, but I like to smell it like in passing. Sarah Baker's Peach's Revenge. So good. So unique, juicy, sweet, intriguing complexities. Definitely one of the best peach fragrances I've smelled, and I love that they really delivered something different. I haven't smelled anything like this before. The guava in here literally smells like guava juice. This perfume is thick, juicy, syrupy, rich. And I love the amaretto, bringing in a delectable, boozy background that nicely complements the peach. There's nectarine, vanilla, caramel, amber, adding warmth. The spicy notes are extremely subtle, but linger in the far background to add character. The only reason I've not grabbed a bottle of this is that I'm finding it to be a bit too sweet for me, but I think it's fantastic. Then we have Amouage Love Delight. I can't recall what this perfume was inspired by, some type of gourmand. It doesn't smell gourmand at all to me. To me, this was like a heliotrope bomb. So it smells green, powdery, pollen, like purple florals. I do smell a bit of almonds, and it's got this faintly sweetened vanilla, but that note doesn't smell edible to me. And then I get dusty jasmine, some cinnamon, and just a bit of ginger and mandarin just at the top. Maison Crivelli's Tubereuse Astrale was a miss for me. It smelled dusty. The notes just came across as stale to me. It's got, of course, tuberose, cinnamon bark. I don't find it to be cinnamon heavy. Osmanthus, carrot seeds, and a bit of vanilla. And there's kind of a dry hay-like smell to this one as well for me. Then we have the new Valentino Born in Roma Green Stravaganza. This would be my favorite out of the Born in Roma line. I quite enjoyed this one. It's tea, vanilla, and jasmine. It's very refreshing. It's like a beautiful, light, pretty girl perfume for spring and summer. I doused myself in this at Sephora to give it a wear test, and I was unfortunately quite disappointed with the performance of it. It was very light wearing, so I was wanting more punch with it, and I did prefer the opening to the dry down. The dry down didn't feel as special to me. It's got that kind of like typical perfumey vibe to it, and the notes didn't pop as much as they did in the opening. I actually really loved that opening experience. I actually thought I was going to end up getting a bottle, but as it dried down, it just lost that sparkling character for me. And then the last one I'll go over for today is the new Cirque du Soleil perfume. That bottle is incredible, and I think they really came out with a bang for their only perfume, first perfume. I don't know if they're gonna come out with more or not. It's just way too sweet for me, but it does smell really good. It's a gourmand lover's dream. It's a load of cotton candy, vanilla, and what smells like caramel kettle corn. And I'm usually not a fan at all of a popcorn note, but it's fun in here and done in a wearable way. I only smell a bit of the red apple in the opening, and the vanilla note in particular is done in a very similar way to House of Sillage Hufflepuff and Nobile 1942 La Danza. It's airy, powdery, definitely a fun one, but specifically for those of you who love it, extremely sweet. And that wraps up my video for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already. If you want to see me in any more videos, I'd appreciate it so, so much. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!